Today we'll be looking at philosophy and the society. Now, first of all, we have to understand what philosophy is. Now, then we understand what a society also is. Now, philosophy is uh, the love of wisdom, basically. The epistemology about the idea of philosophy is the love of wisdom. And philosophy is also a rational inquiry into the ideas that we live by. Is it the idea of religious belief? Is it the idea of education? Is it the idea of existence? Various ideas that we live by. Philosophy makes rational inquiry into it. Now, philosophy also analyze issues about various claims of various assertions, various dogmatic belief. Now, in all this, we should know that philosophy is a quest to know and also provide solutions. Philosophy shouldn't just be ended as a quest to know. When you know this, how can this be better, and so on. So that is philosophy. And then someone will say philosophy is a second order discipline. It's another discipline. The fact that philosophy looks into the claims of various, institutions or society or scholars, and then look at it critically to know, is this thing the truth, or is it actually like this, or is it false? Can it be done better? Like, for example, psychology claim that man can be studied. Philosophy now goes into psychology and look at, is it possible for man to be studied? How can you claim that man can be studied when you can't actually know what is going on in a man's mind? So that is basically the job of philosophy. Now, the society is a body of people who share similar culture, language, ideas, and so on. And also, we could see it as an organization or an institution of people of like-minded, uh, of like minds who share similar ideas and have similar goals to achieve something. And what do I mean by this kind of institution? Like, let's say the Society of Philosophy Students, the Society of Biologists. They might not necessarily be come from a particular geographical zone, but they share similar ideas on a particular field. So, having understand what philosophy is and what the society actually is, now we'll look at what is the business of philosophy in the society. Now, I don't think anyone should ask this question, because having said that philosophy is the second order discipline that look into the claims of other disciplines, philosophy definitely has the right to look into the society too. And moving forward, we are going to understand the importance and the roles in which philosophy play in the society. Now, we should know that society is encountered with various problems. If we don't know, we should use our immediate environment, immediate society as an example. Then you know that truly we need deep thinking. We need deep thinking on looking for how we can solve the problems we are facing in this present society. And deep thinking, critical thinking is the job of philosophy. And now, philosophy, through critical thinking and logic, helps us to be able to, reason in a good way and solve individual and societal problem. So this is one of the major role of philosophy in the society. Through critical thinking and logic, which logic is the science of good reason, helping us to reason good, distinguishing between a good argument from a bad argument. Philosophy through critical thinking and logic help us to be able to reason in a good way and solve individual and societal problems. Now, having understood this, uh, seeing that the society has so many problems, one of the ways in which we can solve this is through philosophy. And philosophy also is a light that illuminates us out of darkness. When we say something is the love of wisdom, not knowing something means you are in darkness. Having wisdom to know illuminates you out of that darkness into the light. Now, philosophy as a light guide us through light, illuminating us from the unknown. Now, for example, growing up, we grew up to various superstition, and we accepted this superstition without questioning it. Now, at some stage where we attain the status of philosophy, we started asking questions about various things. Why should uh why should I not put my hand under when under the the when rain is falling? Why shouldn't I stretch my hand outside? Is this actually just a superstitious belief or a fact? uh, why must I have to, you know, serve somebody before I get money? You ask those questions and you see reasons. You get illuminated out of darkness. So that is how philosophy actually works. It helps illuminates us out of the unknown. That is one of the major job of philosophy. And when we seek for questions, uh, and seek for answers to questions that affect us in the society, we are actually taking a big step forward in solving the solution to those problems. Now, once again, take a look at Nigeria, take a look at the problems we are facing in Nigeria, why are the government corrupt. They are corrupt because everyone is actually after their own selfish interest. How can we create a system of government that is going to make sure that everybody has equal share, that is going to make sure that anybody that is corrupt is being punished severely? We think. Now, philosophy also looks into the worldview of various society. Now, a worldview is the way people of a particular society or community perceive certain ideas, and this the way they perceive these things actually influence their behavior. Now, for example, abortion, our view on abortion in Africa is different from America. Our view on homosexuality in Nigeria is actually different from America. So the worldview of Nigeria on these certain topics is different from each other from America. That is how every society is, and this influence how we act. You know, and another example of this is the killing of twins before Mary Slessor came and intervened. They perceived twins to be evil, thus they are either thrown to the evil forest or they are being killed. Now, Mary Slessor, through deep thinking, was able to enlighten the people out of darkness that say twins are not evil. Say we too, we are giving birth to twins and they're actually successful, you know, doing great things. So provided ideas, made them see reasons why they shouldn't abandon twins. So philosophy helps in worldview. Now, aside from our immediate societal problem, philosophy also plays a significant role in solving global problems. Global problems like what? Like climate change. Like scientists has discovered that the ozone layer is tearing up, and that is why the society is getting hotter and hotter every day. Now, what does philosophy do in this aspect? Ask questions. What causes the ozone layer to be tearing up? If the ozone layer is tearing up, what can we do to ensure that we the ozone layer is actually kept secured? How can we influence the government? Science cannot do everything. There are technological advancement truthfully, but science can't solve every problem. Like for example, the problem of religion, the problem of culture, the problem of politics. It takes deep critical thinking to solve these problems, and that's why philosophy is very very important. Now, so philosophy, help us solve what problem well, through this by indirect influence on the development of practical solution. Practical solution could be the scientists indulging in practices to bring about solutions to problem, but they can't do this without deep thinking, without having to philosophize. So that is how philosophy is very very important. Now philosophy also is the study of general and fundamental problems, like what? Like language, like knowledge, like value, like survival or existence. Now you will ask, how is language a problem? Language could be a problem because the way I'm saying this, like 20 people could be listening. Now, the way you are going to understand is different from the way another person is going to understand it. If you read a book, the way you are going to understand that book is different from the way another person is going to understand that book. The way a verse of the Bible is being understand is different from the way someone else will understand that verse. If I say something in Yoruba, when it's being translated to English, it could have little adjustments in the meaning. So language could be a problem actually, and philosophy, through critical thinking, through rational inquiry, through analysis, looks into these problems and help us provide solution. Value, we mentioned value. Now, this could be something that is perceived as a value to this particular society, like human rights could be valuable in this society and might not be valuable in this society. Now, when there is a philosopher in such society, it helps them get better knowledge, better understanding on why this should be accepted and this should be neglected. So that is one of the role of philosophy. Now, so us as individuals, how does philosophy help us? Now, for example, in making decisions, some people make decisions without thinking and then they end up having problems. If you don't think deeply and then you make a decision, you might end up having problem about such decision. And that's why when people go to people for advice, it's not like they don't know what to do, but they go to people for advice. And then at the end of the day, when that advice backfire, they will start blaming that person. But every man has the choice to think, but not everybody is actually using it. Now, thinking is not just the work of the mind. It is actually an hard work. It takes dedication and willingness to do what to think. Thinking is not easy, you know. So philosophy, as an act of thinking, help us make better decisions. Now, like it's been put here, it helps us to improve how we analyze and evaluate situations and ideas through critical thinking, helping us to make better decisions. Now, you are in a situation where, let's say, you haven't been admitted to school, then you are pondering, should I go to school or should I go and learn a trade so I can start working and start making money? You are at the crossroad. At this point, you need critical thinking as an individual. So someone might say, well, let me go and make money. School now, scam. At the end of the day, you make that money and then you don't have knowledge on how to spend this money wisely or live a better life. Someone might say, let me go to school. And then the person goes to school. At the end of the day, start looking for a job. So, how do you manage this situation? Through critical thinking. You could say, okay, let me learn this trade first. When I get some money, I will go to school so that I can get knowledge in order to live a better life. So I can know what is unknown, and then I will resume back my trade and use this knowledge to build my trade, build myself as an individual. And at the end of the day, the trade could work out for you, the education too could work out for you. But some people might not see it this way. Say school na scam. Oh, uh, those that are learning trade, they are useless. You have to think deeply. This is how philosophy helps you to put critical thinking, helping you to make better decisions after you analyze and evaluate situations. So, having said this, I think now we have a better understanding of what philosophy is, what society is, the roles that philosophy plays in our society, in the world at large, to us as individuals. And now we have a better understanding of philosophy and the society. And if you want to look more into it, you can always look at the values of philosophy by Bertrand Russell, looking at how philosophy is actually important to mankind, to individuals, and then the society. You can also look at the analogy of the cave by Plato on the allegory of the cave where there were three prisoners. So philosophy is very, very expedient to the society. Without thinking, without rational thinking, we won't get things right. And philosophy, has to do with thinking. And philosophy could be used to do what is good, and philosophy could be used to do what is bad. Now, these politicians that are doing what is bad, for example, are they not thinking? They are thinking. They know that, oh, if I give this person, bribe this person to vote for me, that person will collect it, and then I will go to suffer that person for so years. Let me just bribe me first. Let me have my way first. You know. So we also have to come to think as individuals too. That no, enough is enough. We can do better. We can actually overcome. You know, chase out these people that have actually been recycling themselves and do something that is better. It takes thinking. Science cannot help us do that. It is only through philosophy. And that is that on philosophy and the society. I hope you enjoyed the lecture, and definitely we'll continue to do more. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share your comments. Let me hear from you. Thank you, and God bless you.